All right, so this is the last song from the EP. I have 3 songs left. This is about Amy and Rory from the 11th Doctor era. It's called The Last Centurion and the Girl Who Waited. Here we go. like you back.
All right, so this song is called wait, I can't remember the name of the song. It's been so long. It's called The Last Centurion and the Girl Who Waited, and that's two people from the Doctor Who series, and this is from a 3-song EP all about Doctor Who. So Want me to start off playing it?
Sure.
Play a little bit. Actually, you can see I have markers down. That's actually where the vocoder comes in, where I start singing live.
Gotcha.
I usually use these little markers. I think you just hit B 3 times. Yeah. I use those to kind of keep track of, because obviously, you know, here without the vocoder going, it didn't sound any different from the prior part, but
Right.
that helps me keep track where, okay, here's where I start singing, or here's where I'll start playing guitar too. Just for the different movements.
And I take it these are just, it's just a 4-track concept?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's PV stand for?
Pulse channel? It's PU.
Yeah. PU.
Oh, PU,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So you got PU1, PU2, and then the wave channel, and then the noise channel.
Okay.
I think right now I have the bass on the wave channel, which is
So
pretty
it just
standard
moves
practice.
down vertically.
Yeah, so...
Crazy.
Like a little slide in.
yeah. I think it comes in on the and. Which is, I've never done that before, and that's always fun. I am really bad at doing that on real bass, like playing and notes. So yeah, that's going on there. Like I said, I got these signifying every movement. I do that all the time
Right.
too. It also helps when, like, you're playing live and something messes up and you have to, like, oh, I gotta start, like, over right at this one part we were at. Oops, down here. Start from the beginning again. So right there, I have that little break. And funny enough, this break used to be 2 measures. And I did that just to be fun and, like, make it weird and mathy. But once I kicked the vocoder in, vocoder doesn't do odd timing, which is a real bummer. It only does 4/4 or a kind of 6/8. So I had to boost that. I boost this break up to a full 4/4 measure.
Basically, this Electribe here
Mhm.
has chords going that are going
Yeah.
to the vocoder, so when
Yeah.
you sing, it's...
Yeah, it's pretty.
Gotcha.
The Electribe has 2 synth channels, and I'm basically just kind of doing harmonies with it.
Okay.
And they're panned both to the right channel, and the right out goes to the. You can see right here goes to the Electribe. The vocoder.
Okay.
So you out front, you don't hear any of that.
Right, until you sing.
Yeah, until I sing, exactly.
Sweet.
But then it's panned. All the drums are panned left, and those are going to the mixer, and they're kind of like supplementing the Game Boy drums. The one bummer was I was hoping to, like in some parts, pan a synth left, and have it like supplement some of the Game Boy parts. But if you put any effects on the synths on the Electribe, it'll bleed over channels. It doesn't
really?
stay
Oh, it doesn't,
hard
like-
panned. Yeah.
okay.
So then, like, it would bleed into the vocoding, and it would sound
Huh.
really warped and weird. So that was kind of a bummer, but you know, whatever. What are you gonna do? So I got the kick on this channel, the Pulse 2. So you can see right here I got the kick, the C5. Let's see what the table looks like, just for curiosity's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. So it's pitching down. What it does real quick right here, this table plays through every tick? Is that how that works? Every tick, and there's 6 ticks per beat. per like 16th note, if you will.
Yeah.
Am I
Like
getting
this
that right?
screen, the phrase screen here,
Yeah.
basically that's the 16th notes you'd have in a measure.
Oh, okay.
And then within those 16th notes, you have 6 what are called ticks,
Yeah.
which are basically like little micro.
The subdivisions.
Yeah, basically.
That the
So-
computer or the Game Boy understands, I guess.
And
Wow.
so what happens is every time he has a note that's connected to his kick drum instrument information, it runs through all of this
these.
stuff that's on this table.
Very fast.
And
Big-
so
That's insane.
you could fill it every square inch with effects and commands and
Yeah.
stuff if you wanted to
Yeah.
make the sound go insane. But like for
Yeah.
this, just to make a kick drum,
Yeah.
what you basically do is you put a P command for pitch
Right.
and just have it go from a high C
Oh.
all the way down.
Attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have
basically.
a kill command, so it doesn't just keep going like like just
It would like
just
keep
get the
looping,
attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
but the kill command stops it. So once
So,
it hits
like-
like its lowest point, you like put the kill command.
So it's just a really quick pitch bend, basically.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Pitch drop.
So you get like the snap of like the percussive part of the kick drum, but then you get the low bottom of it right
That's
after.
cool.
Yeah,
It's a bass drop.
That's,
basically.
pretty much,
yeah.
pretty much, yeah. Then you can name the instruments 06, like that one's named 06. It has the name up there, so you can kind of, obviously reuse it and know where you are. But then I have that little twinkly noise that Nick's
I was
talking
wondering
about,
about
this
that.
little D6 here. Let's see what's going on there. I probably do not remember. Okay, so it's very short. A1, right? Yeah, A1 means it's just like bloop, bloop. That's the
Yeah, the second
Like
digit is
duration,
the
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
versus the volume. I have automate on, so this is a fun trick that Nick taught me. So this pertains to the table. With automate off, it just flies through the table.
Okay.
The table being this thing we were talking about before, all these effects.
Oh,
With
okay.
automate on, it only does each one every time a note is triggered. So
It only like
Oh.
advances a
Yeah,
row every
yeah.
time there's a new note. Yeah.
So if I hit start, so you can see the little arrow on the left is slowly going through each one.
Right.
So that adds, I don't know, do you think it adds like a sense of randomness a little bit?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, what's cool about the way that you have it set up is that you have basically these 2 columns of commands, and you can see he's put these H commands at different spots. So the one is like
Right.
cycling through with like a division of 3, the other is cycling through a division of 4. So every
Right.
time
They're-
it comes around, like they match up differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does some cool things.
Keeps it a little lively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this O command here is doing different the stereo, so left and then right.
Nice.
And then here it's going back to actually centered. And then the H, it means it hops back, so it hops right back to up here. It doesn't actually do this, it just kind of automatically goes back up here.
Right.
And over here I got the 4. These are the different wave values, so that's where
Right.
you're kind of getting this different sound
Different kinds
for
of
each
square
one.
waves.
Yeah. Like if I had the
Yeah, that
ball
makes sense.
up like this, there all sounds. Yeah.
That's cool.
So my intentions with that little sound is that you can hear it's kind of like. It just kind of like fills in. It's like a slight difference. It's not really meant to take like
Right.
the lead
It's
per
almost
se.
like
It's just kind of like
percussion
change things a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Um, see what's going on with that bass drop. I don't really remember if I kill it. Okay, yeah. So the bass drop's nice because it's just like here's your 0 value for pitching, and then I just do like 2 little changes, like 2 little values worth, I guess.
Yeah, like the more values down you go, the faster
Yeah.
the pitch drop is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why
and,
it takes
And
so
if you
long.
went positive values, it would pitch up instead.
Gotcha.
So that run, I don't kill that. Like that note will keep playing until you either kill it or play a new note.
So like if you hit play right here,
Yeah.
like that note stops when the new note starts. But if you
Right.
put like an empty measure after it, it would just keep going.
Which is
Would it
down.
continue
Yeah.
to drop?
Yeah, it would
Which
just
is-
keep going down.
That's
and
where
down.
that 4-measure break I was talking about that I had to put in. It's just blank, so it
So, yeah.
continues to play over that.
That's kinda cool.
So if I put like put 4 more in here, and it'll probably reach the bottom, and then just cycle back up.
Cool.
Messes up, but that's fun.
Yeah, the thing that's cool about the way pitch commands work in this program, whereas they don't work that way in like a DAW or like any other thing, is that when you do this pitch command, it just sends it on this trail downwards, and then when it hits the lowest note that the chip is could possibly make, it just starts back over at the highest pitch it could make.
Yeah.
And then just keeps like looping through.
That's interesting.
And so what you can do is you can actually create these super crazy effects if you do like a really fast one.
Yeah.
Because it'll go like rapidly through every note that it can make.
Do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah, if you were to, boost that value up a bit. Yeah.
Just like there. Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like tearing through it.
Yeah. It's interesting because this view here just makes me think of Ableton.
Right, yeah.
Except that vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what, when I just said, like, do live mode, like, if you're just a regular song mode, you hit play,
Just linear.
Yeah.
like,
everything
through.
straight down, but if you're in live mode, you actually are, like, queuing clips
That's
all
cool.
separately the way you would with Ableton.
I was wondering
it's, like,
if you
exactly
could-
the same.
So if you made a mistake live, could you just re-cue a section to save yourself?
Well,
Right,
there's a way, like when you cue, like if I hit something now and this is coming next, there's a way to cancel it, right?
Well, yeah, what happens is it waits for the other one to end,
Right.
unless you, like, double tap, and then it jumps to it immediately.
Oh, okay.
And is that synced to some sort of clock, or is
It's
that
synced,
just,
it's synced
just
to the
goes?
tempo of this. It, like, goes to it immediately. I mean, not immediately, but, like, at the end of the measure rather than
Next, yeah.
at the end of, like, a section.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't use live mode too much, but that's
Yeah, I've used it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool just to, like, jam.
yeah.
But
Makes
yeah, I'm
sense.
more into, like, writing a song that's one way.
Yeah.
And then you can just
Definitely.
play along.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. That's cool.
The only other interesting thing I think is there's that little crash that goes on there right at the same time as that bass drop. That's just the white noise channel, which
Yeah.
we typically use for drums and snare and
Hi-hats
hi-hat.
and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I just messed around with the shape till I got something fun there. Not previewing right. I like using the little crash sounds like that right at the end of measures to before a little quick break.
Right. No, that makes sense.
It's funny, I don't use crashes, I don't think so, too often at the beginning of a measure, like most drummers do, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
So.
They kind of wrap up your phrase.
Yeah.
That's cool.
One thing I thought sounded good was the big arpeggios at the beginning of the next part. Yeah.
So those are panned. Let's double check. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So I got my kick in there too. And what's fun is this arp starts right on 1, but then because the kick, this one has to start a little later, but that still sounds good. Still gives it's a stereo impression. So yeah, since I had the room, I panned them just to make them sound big, especially like a pre-chorus sound too. So they're on D. Let's see what they're running through. Yep, 0, 4, and 7. And
Yeah.
D?
So basically that TSP column there is for transposition.
Yep.
So it's like on your phrase, you're playing a C, and so for then 3 ticks, it doesn't do anything, and then for next 3 ticks, it plays it 4
Steps
semitones up,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then 7 semitones up, and then 11,
So third
Yeah.
and fifth.
Yeah.
and then the 7th. So
And then it hops.
it's playing through all those notes to create like the sound of a chord.
Yeah.
But it's cool, I think, too, because you're doing the kick drum and the chord
Right.
on the same channel.
Right.
So then, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like what you have to do is like...
I mean, you can hear it when you pay attention to it like that. Like I just have those 2 channels soloed right now. You can hear the one drop out quick, especially with headphones.
Yeah.
But I think within the context of the song, I'm ringing out chords on the guitar. I'm singing over this.
Right.
Your
So
brain
you're
doesn't
not
catch
gonna-
on that quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's kind of nice.
And it's kind of cool, too, because one thing that is interesting is you're doing the kick drum, but since you have the art starting right after the kick drum, like another 16th note, it doesn't really ever get to that full bassy low end of the kick. But you're making up for that with the electribe.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one nice thing about that. That can ring out as long as it wants to.
So you're layering, basically.
Yeah.
Layering the drums from the electribe with this.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. Because, like Nick said, sometimes when you have things like start immediately after, it will cut off some of the tails, I guess.
Right.
Which is a bummer, but you can only do so much.
But it's kind of cool too because that has like a real snappy kind of quality to it. That
this is more boomy.
Yeah, so that kind of goes together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like we were talking about this earlier too, that is kind of not a super strong kick.
Right,
but, yeah, because it's like hitting with the bass.
Yes.
Simultaneously, it has like a it has like a bigger sound.
Oops.
And like if you actually had a super deep bassy kick drum, it would just get all muddy with the bass
going on. Yeah. So it's nice to have that kind of punchy attack.
Like, you kind of leave room for each other.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, plus I got again the electrobes backing that up on top of that.
Right.
But that main melody, I think I'm just doing wave stuff there. Yeah. So again, the table, I just have different waves, each 4, which is a pretty common thing to do. I do quite often. Just a great sound. I've always liked that sound. And they fade out too.
So it's a different length.
Yeah. And then again it fades out. You got a 7. I was like 7 too.
So that's how you would basically make it sound like it's delaying. Basically, is it?
I mean, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. There's also the 2-channel trick where you basically, you have the same thing going on in 2 channels, except on this it's happening, well, this one's panned left, this one's panned right, and this one it's happening 1/16 later. It's much easier to hear with headphones, I think, than over like
sometimes. It's kind of cool because you're trying to like recreate these sounds from pedals or from programs.
Yeah.
But you actually have to write it in manually.
Yeah.
Like if you want an echo, you have to like write in the first note and then write in the repeat quieter. Write in the next repeat.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, some people, and I mean I've done it too. I'd write like C and then just write 4 more of them and have them slowly decrease in volume for an echo sound. That's all that's going on there. Very typical. What is it? The octave bass. I think I'm doing there. Yeah. I mean, can't go wrong with that.
That's right.
And then the disco beat with the upbeats on the hi hats.
Right.
It's easy enough. It works. I wanted to do that there, so I did it.
Is your vocal part in that spot like?
It's the same
kind
thing
of matching that.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same melody as the. I think it's even the same notes, which is fun. A funny little note about this. I wrote this, and then I heard that. What's that band? Because the lyrics of this part is, I'll wait for. I think it's like, but that's like very similar to that. I can't remember their name. They're like that bluegrass pop band. They don't have a drummer. Yeah.
Oh,
Except theirs isn't a quarter note triplet. It's like right on. Yes.
Right.
There it is.
It's like.
Well, you know what blew my mind?
What's that?
A similar note.
Yeah.
Was I don't know if it was DuckTales for Nintendo. But don't they use like a Cyndi Lauper song?
Oh no, Goonies 2. Goonies 2.
Goonies 2.
For the first stage.
It has like the Cyndi Lauper song in it, and so I knew it from the game, and then I knew it from the Advantage
covering it.
Of
course, yeah.
And then I heard it on the radio.
heard the actual song.
And it blew my mind.
Because you already knew it.
I thought this was somebody like had written lyrics to like an Advantage song.
That's crazy.
That's
funny.
I had never heard
Good
before.
enough for you. It's that one, right?
I had never heard
the
of it.
lyrics.
Right, I
But you never heard
don't
those.
know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good song, and it's a great Nintendo little song. And everything.
It's a good Nintendo song.
Yeah, so the next part just goes back to the same verse again. But I do it half as long,
Right.
just from a songwriting perspective, and then I jump right back into those little bleepy, pretty noises. Just to move the song along.
Right.
Because I made the second verse shorter than the first. And I think I even make that little bass drop shorter. I think I started on 3. No, I go right into that actually. Didn't even know. So yeah, I go right right. I go right into that next part, and again, it's pretty much the same thing. Back into the chorus after that. But after another 4 rounds of the chorus, I go into the next part. But real quick, I actually go up. I think I made these changes after I recorded it. The second 2 parts of the chorus, I just go up an octave. And that's just to make it a little more interesting, since it's been heard 6 times at this point.
Right.
Okay, so the next part. This is, I guess, what we call the bridge. And there's a lot of guitar stuff going on here. I think the guitar kind of carries it more, but you'll get a sense of it too. So I'll hold up on the last part. So there's a lot going on here. I think it's.
Totally.
It sounds like at some points it might have been overloaded in the Super Nintendo too, but that's okay.
Poor little Nintendo.
Poor little guy. All right, so there's like I said, there's a guitar part here that's kind of carrying this. Let's see. Whoops, my bad. So I actually wrote this one out. This one's, however many chains. I don't know why I decided to do that, but usually I just stick to 4 just to keep it simple if I'm just doing a very basic 4/4 song. But I think I just did this whole one in the one little chain here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump here. So that's pretty much just like the other one where I'm doing the different wave values. Sounds a little faster. And I think I harmonize with the other one. So then I just kick in the bass too to kind of give a progression.
Right.
To, the song's gonna, here's what's gonna go, it's gonna happen, you can kind of feel it. While I'm playing the same guitar part over all this.
Right.
And then it does the crazy noise stuff. So that, let's see what's going on there.
Crazy.
I do not remember. When I do noise stuff like that, it's just like, it's the type of thing where you just mess around.
There it is.
Z commands.
Z commands.
We're talking about these. So Z is, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
it looks at the previous effect, or whatever you did previously, and it randomizes that based on what value you put in.
Right.
So it's going to be different every time. Even though I have all the same value here, it's because then it looks at this looks at the previous value of this, and this looks at the previous value of this, and it's
Okay.
always going to be different.
So since you have the V command first, that's for
Right.
vibrato.
Yes.
But then when you hit the Z command,
Mhm.
that re-triggers vibrato. But then it like I think there's math involved.
And I'm pretty sure it's different every time.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's since it's just a noise part too, and I'm just like playing whatever on the
Yeah,
guitar
yeah.
harmonics and stuff.
Yeah.
It works.
Totally.
Like I don't know, you might have used Z values in actual. Well, you use them for crashes. You mentioned that.
I use them a lot for crash sounds. Yeah.
Have you ever used it in like an actual like melody part or a part that's kind of more
No.
constructed? Yeah, I don't know if it would work like that
Yeah.
unless you could find a way to like have it work with like octaves or something. So yeah, I mean I think that's going on this channel too. Yeah, just with a different. I think it's a different instrument. No, same instrument.
Just layer in it.
So you're just
Yeah.
stacking random noise.
I must have.
basically.
That's
So
fine.
what's doing that fill though? But what's doing that fill?
That's an excellent question.
Is it one of the pulse channels?
It's got to be. Is it this? Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
There it is. That's the snare part. But that's the kick part.
Oh, okay, so then on the other channel, is it doing? I think that's rad to use that on the pulse channels. Use the Z commands like that.
It's fun.
That's awesome.
It's fun. It's very noisy. So that it's nice to do that just because it leads into like a whole new like I guess hook that is the outro of the song, and it's just fun to make noise right before you go into a very like pop oriented
Right.
chord structure.
Yeah, it's a cool effect
Um,
for sure.
Yo, listen to this. This is when I was listening to Too Much Dan
Wait.
Cannon. Oh yeah, the drums. I got nothing to do with that though. Yeah, dirty, right?
Dirty.
Chaos. Chaos.
Okay, so this is the last part. So it's that 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I play guitar over it twice, and then I sing over the last 2. So I added along with the bass. I think it's on this channel. I added like a swell, so you can kind of hear that.
Definitely like a side change.
Yeah. So that was not something I've never done before, and I'm like, I'll try that here because I have this this melody going on, and then I have my vocal melody, which is actually different. It's not as fast as this; it's more like holding notes out.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I have this empty pulse channel. I might as well just try something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of subtle, and I think it's something you might notice more with headphones. If you don't have somebody pointing it out, but it was fun to add, and I think it sounds kind of sick. Sounds like it pops out more on that note too. So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Well, yeah. The thing about it too is like you don't have anything playing like a chord in there.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like helps fill out your
Mm.
chord. You're doing
Jump.
you're
Yeah.
doing like delay kind of stuff too.
Yeah. So these are same note, 2 different instruments. I can't preview it right now, which is a bummer. But this one is doing this table, which is running through those wave commands real quick. And this one is doing the same thing.
But at a different volume. Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, this one's B7. This one's B7 too. What's the difference between these 2? I mean, they sound different.
No, I don't know.
Maybe they're not.
I think that's maybe what you were thinking about doing.
Maybe it was. And then I was just like, oh, it's good enough. That's funny though. There's so many. I mean, I feel like half the things that I end up doing here are like mistakes that I'm like, oh, that kind of works, and other
Right,
things
yeah,
that are
totally.
actually thought out. That's that part, and that's kind of just takes us out to the end of the song. Like I said, to this. where there's this guitar and vocoder.
Yeah, play that bass real quick.
Yep. And then the old one extra measure with a kill command on a blank measure.
This is actually kind of cool. That command HFF,
H.
the H stands for hop. It's supposed to like hop to a different point. And so, but you put in a value FF where that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And like, there's no FF on this thing. Like you.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like trying to hop to an imaginary space. It just ends the song.
Just kills the song.
Gotcha.
And so what we used to do is we would just copy and paste like a minute worth of empty measures at the bottom of a song.
Yeah.
So that way, because it would just start over back at the top,
if you did,
like in Ableton or something, you know what I mean? It would just like start back over. So we'd have to put all these like blank ones in for so long.
I think you were the one who found that out, and I was just like, oh.
That was the most mind blowing shit when I found out you could just like end your song.
Yeah. Of all things, you know, it's pretty funny.
Like I said, the Electribe is handling drums and 2 synth parts, and the 2 synth parts are actually the vocoder. So all along here, these are all my drum samples.
Awesome.
This is set up pretty much in the same way as these are, where it's just a bunch of patterns. This is song 4, which is a collection of all these different patterns.
Because basically with Electribes, you have that system where you have like
16
chain mode or whatever, and then you like structure all of those into a song in a song mode.
You can think of a pattern as
Patterns,
one phrase or one chain. It's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of a pain sometimes without having more visuals to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's simple things you can do, like copy a pattern and then write it to a new one and then just change the part you need to. But it's still kind of like arranging it it's really archaic. I mean, this is from like 2000, 2001. But still, it's fun. It's fun to use. It does some pretty cool things. And the drums, I like how they sound along with the chip stuff.
Right, yeah.
I used to use 2 Game Boys, and I had just the vocoder coming off the other Game Boy. But I like the synths on this a little more. They're a little smoother, and they don't like duck as much or clip. I don't know, like certain notes. I was
gonna say, can you play a part with the synths?
Yeah. I'll just hit play until it comes in. Or do you just want to hear a synth?
Just the synth by its
Let's jump to a different pattern. Do you want the actual synth or just any synth?
I mean, whatever.
Okay. I'll go to something totally different. This. So that's like reverb on there and everything. It's kind of fun. You can do rolls and stuff. And then you got the like.
But then, can you turn effects and stuff on there?
Yeah. Right now I do have effects on right here. You can only do 1 effect per pattern. So if I have this effect on for both these synths and whatever drums, it's going to be the same effect for all of them.
Right.
Although you do have a master delay edit. So if I turn this on, these two will edit time and depth of delay. But that again affects everything. That delay. So it's kind of a bummer.
And it's like a stereo delay, so you're like panning your vocals over here and panning the drums over here, but since it's stereo, it like bleeds everywhere.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So unfortunately I can't use any effects on it. Kind of a bummer. But still, it's easy enough to use and the drums sound pretty good. What's the right song? So I'll watch for the patterns so I can stop it at appropriate parts, but I'll just hit play. You won't hear any of the vocoder right now because I'm not singing into it. You'll just mostly hear drums. like these all blink when different drum parts are going. These also blink when a new note is being played. I'm gonna play that right now. So yeah, these are the vocoder is going right now, but it's panned. So if I pan it back, you can hear the synth sounds like. So that synth patch actually sounds kind of like two notes, kind of a little bit. I don't know, it's kind of fun. And I've been using that too. So that sounds. Let's see if I can actually play it. I don't know, play from the beginning again. I forgot.
But you can play the keyboard.
Yeah.
Here, do it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sing in the microphone. Yeah.
It's a pretty good vocoder.
Yeah.
Compared to like
Right?
the Korg, which
Yeah.
is not that good.
Right.
Yeah. It's more. I mean, it's just a pedal, which is nice. Very not basic, but I mean, this one has a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this one is you can save presets. These are all access presets, and all has values for different things you can do.
Cool.
But when you just select where you have a preset saved and click this, that means your preset's activated. So like, you know, these knobs are like, it doesn't matter where they are. It remembers
Right.
what I set them to.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I have the blend all the way up, which means it's just vocoder. You can do both voice and it'll let your voice, natural voice through, and the vocoder bands is like the 256. It's at 256 right now. Yeah, it works well. You know, and I have the right channel from the Electribe going into it, which is
Gotcha.
feeding it the note values that you
Because
hear me
you
singing.
used to use another Game Boy.
Correct. Yeah.
And
I just synced them.
what did you think about switching from that Game Boy controlling your vocoder to this being the controller for your vocoder?
Like I said, with the Game Boy, certain notes would pop really loud, like they would jump out louder than other notes, or they would get squashed by similar notes from the Game Boy. So I've realized that this doesn't do that as much. I've also started using a compressor, a little compressor, and that helped
nice.
everything.
Oh my god.
I just had that lying around, and that was handy. So that, yeah, I'm using that to work just with the vocoding part. So you just plug a mic in, the one you're singing in, and then this goes out to my mixer. The one thing that's tricky about these is they will feedback very quick.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to eat the mic. And I would like to not, because it does affect the sound of it. You can kind of tell that I'm eating the mic, but yeah, working around that. The interesting thing about vocoders is, I hear everyone say, and I definitely believe it, is they're more of an instrument rather than just an effect. Like, it takes a while to learn how to use them and get them to sound good. And,
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of people think you can just plug into it and it immediately sounds good, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
Especially with, depending on the notes you're using, affect it dramatically. Like, if you distort notes to it, it sounds really good.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds really nice. I wish I could add that to this, but like I said, the effect will bleed through.
Do you still use the effects on the mixer? Yeah, I know you
I
used
used
to
to do that. No, I don't do that anymore. I used to do that. I forgot for which parts. Oh, at the beginning of like an intro, I would just crank the reverb, like hall reverb, and make it sound big and goofy. But yeah, I don't do that too much anymore. I think what I did with the intro, I wrote all the intro parts on this and cranked. I had all the effects. And I just fed it through, and there was no vocoding, so I could use the effect. And then it just jumps back over the right way when the whole song kicks in, which is that first song you heard me playing there. But yeah, I mean, it was a simple solution. It was fun to learn how to use it, and I can definitely use it for other stuff, for live, playing too.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. How we doing on time?
I think we're actually pretty good for the whole thing.
All right, cool. Yeah, works for me. Sweet.
We done?